What's going on, everybody? This is Jamie, and welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. This week, we're going to get into some things that sold for me on eBay, Poshmark, and I think maybe just touch on Etsy. I've had a pretty good sales week. I've had a really busy week, and before we get into the sales, I wanted to just say thank you so much. I had a bunch of people reach out to me on Instagram, and I've had some nice messages here on YouTube. Me and my wife just purchased a spa in Tillsonburg, Ontario, and I had a lot of congratulations and a bunch of nice words said by you guys who either watch the channel or follow me on Instagram. It's really nice to hear that people support you and the things that you're doing. So this is a really big adventure for us, and this has been a whirlwind of a week. We might get into some more of this stuff. Let's get through the what sold, and then we can end the video. Maybe I'll touch just a little bit more on our new business opportunity. Now, I think I paid a fair price for this and did list it pretty high. I listed it at $250, accepted a best offer of $200.
DVD. Yes, I was thinking I wondered what the brand new, sir.
It's brand new, eh?
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Okay.
Never open. Well, what I mean, the box is open because everybody
Yeah.
to see.
Want to see it for sure.
Yes.
You want $80 for it, right?
Yes, please.
It is open box. What do I mean by that? Exactly what it sounds like. The box has been opened. Everything's sealed in here. Everything's still packed in here properly. I think it's actually missing the styrofoam though. Other than that, we have the manual and the disc and the cords and all that good stuff is in there. So I'll make sure it's packed nice and tight and safely, and it will go out this week. I just sold this one, so I haven't shipped it yet. You can see I just charged $20 for shipping. I feel like this will probably cost me about $30 for shipping. So, I'm gonna lose a little bit on the shipping here. Even with taking the best offer, I still think it's a pretty decent sale. These printers tend to, it's hard. Sometimes you get them and they sell really quickly, even when they're used. Sometimes you sit on them. Some are more desirable, but these things usually do sell for me. Brother is a good brand. You can look them up. Some do sell better than others. This one, I still think was a pretty good buy, and I would pick it up again as well. Next up, an Etsy sale. I was kind of blown away by this one. This was found at the Goodwill bins. Used Google Lens, found similar items. Realized really quick that it was worth some decent money. It's a little tool bag. It has like the, I think it's embossing on there, like it's textured. It's cool. Let's see if I have a picture of the inside here to show you. So the ends have like a little bit of a waffle look. And the inside is just very nice and clean, and it's all sewn, right? So very nice vintage little bag. Like I said, I was very surprised. I think my wife actually said, hey, what do you think of this? Hit it with the Google Lens. Nothing came back. I kind of thought, I'm not sure. Left. And while I was walking away from the bin, my Google Lens loaded and showed me a whole bunch of these things at all kinds of prices. So I decided to pick it up. It sold within probably about a week and a half for, $80 plus shipping essentially. Couldn't be happier. From the Goodwill bins, you're buying by weight, so I'm into this very, very little. Probably $1 or $2 at the most, probably even less than that, to be honest. I didn't really weigh it. I did when I shipped it, obviously, but I didn't weigh it when we bought it. I'm like, this is a lightweight item. This will be a great pickup. And it was, and it sold really fast. So if you do see these little, I guess what they are is a tool bag. Yeah, definitely pick them up. You never really know when you're out looking what you could find. And lots of times I do this, I'll stumble across something I'm not sure of, and I'll do a little research while I'm out. In this case, it paid off, and I had no idea how fast it was gonna sell either of these type of bags. It's not like buying a little Nike bag or a little, Prada purse or whatever it's gonna be. It's not like that because there's no brand to this. It's definitely like a handmade vintage bag. There's no maker mark. Yeah, so you're taking a little bit of a chance, but here on Etsy, it did sell for $80, so I'm pretty happy about it. Next up, another eBay sale. Now, I owned a Surface not too long ago. It was a Surface Pro as well, and I remember how much I spent for the keyboard. So when I bought my keyboard, it was, I think, $250, and that was on sale, I think. They're expensive, very expensive. But this one was used, open box. I picked it up at Value Village for about $20, and it looked like they were selling around $130, so that's why I listed it at $129.85. I got a best offer of $100. Decided to take it. I thought that was more than fair. You can see here, it has the original box. It has everything. It's definitely used. There's no really wear or tear on the keyboard or anything, but I didn't really want a chance trying to risk it or trying to say it was like refurbished or anything like that, because it's not. It's just honestly, it's used in the original box. That's how I was selling it, and getting $100 for it, still very happy. Like I said, I paid about $20 for it at Value Village out of the glass case. I usually do look in the glass case. It's about 10% of the time where I find something I'm gonna pick up. Everything in that case is still pretty expensive. This just happened to be something that they did mark, not really, I mean, perfect for me, but they could have maybe asked more money. But then once again, you are looking for the right person to walk into that store and buy it. So maybe for the store that's priced right, but anyway, $20 into $100 for this keyboard. Definitely good. If you see Microsoft Surface anything out there, definitely look it up because their stuff is expensive. I would say it's on par with price with Apple stuff. So yeah, if you see it, definitely look it up. You might be surprised how much value is still left in it, even used. We have a Poshmark Canada sale. Now this was a Jays jersey and it was a giveaway from, I think this is the 2015 Canada Day giveaway, which would make a lot of sense, right? Canada 15. I definitely remember seeing these, but I never had one before. It's an adult extra large. You know, it's got all the Canada stuff on it. It's got the sponsorship by Honda on it as well. So it sold for $34. I picked this up for $8 at Value Village. I'm not sure why Value Village normally marks jerseys in the like the $20, maybe the $14 to $25 range. Usually, or at least in my store they do. This one wasn't. I'm not really sure if they thought because it was a giveaway or they thought maybe, I'm not really sure what the reasoning was, honestly, but I was definitely happy to see it priced so low. So, you know, $8, $9 roughly into $34 on Poshmark. Pretty happy with that. I also thought I'd be hanging on to this till baseball season. So when I listed it just last week and it sold within just, just a few days, I guess, pretty happy with that. Like I said, these type of things always do sell. The giveaway jerseys are always a pickup. The t-shirts, giveaway t-shirts from stadiums, not so much. Bobbleheads, definitely a yes. So, stadium giveaways can be hit or miss, but always look them up when you see them because you never really know. This isn't worth big money, but it obviously did sell pretty fast regardless. Next up, an Etsy sale. Now, this is not a complete set. I think we're missing Kramer. I think you can see in the back of one of them here. So I've got Jerry, we have Elaine, and we have George. Okay, so a set of 3. I think on the backs here, yeah, you can see there's supposed to be 4 of them. But I think I paid $3 a pin and got $45 plus shipping on Etsy. I think these actually came from a liquidation store as well. There was a whole bunch of them. Really, there was a whole bunch of ones that were not good, a bunch of Funko Pops that I damaged. And these pins were in there. And I thought, why not give them a shot? I think individually they were selling for, at the time, around $15. So I thought if I lotted them all up for about $15 a piece, 45 bucks, it'd probably sell. Someone could combine the shipping, save some money, and that's exactly what happened. I expected to take a best offer actually on eBay, but these ones did sell on Etsy for $45 plus shipping. Next up, I sold this Sangen HDT20 HD radio. So it is basically an HD tuner for AM/FM radio. This guy, I've found these before and sold them. This one does not have the remote. It's basically minimal testing. It's just hooking it up to an existing receiver and making sure that it functions. It's just a radio, so it's not very hard to use, obviously. It's about the size of a VCR or DVD player, so it ships for about the same rate, probably 15 to 20 bucks roughly, as long as it's not going somewhere super far away. But yeah, basically just a little HD tuner. So if you see this brand or just HD radios in general, they still do sell pretty well. And I did take a best offer of $100 on this too, so $6.90 into $100 seemed like a no-brainer. Some of these, if you did have the remote, you can get a little bit more money. I'm gonna say closer to the $200 range. And then also they make different models as well. Like I said, this one happens to be the HDT20. So you can just look up the model, see what the comps are saying. They're available, they are out there, and people still like their radios. Whether they're doing the vintage radios or the modern radios, it's still something that's getting used on the daily. So if you do see these tuners, look and see what they're worth, because you might be surprised what you find out there, really. Next up, I sold this vintage Detroit Red Wings jersey. I think it's 90s roughly from what I could find online anyway, and I was comfortable calling it a 90s. I could have just called it vintage or retro, but I'm pretty sure when I looked it up, this is a 90s jersey. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm certainly not trying to be deceiving in any way, but I believe this is a 90s jersey regardless. It's a Coho Detroit. I keep wanting to say Detroit Tigers, but it's Detroit Red Wings jersey. So I just do the front and the back. This one does have, there's the tag there. I think it is a made in Canada as well. This one does have a couple stains here. Of course, the stains are going to be on the white. There's probably stains in the red too that you can't see, but a little bit of staining there. Didn't really matter too much. This one went super close. This person lived, I'm not going to give away their address or anything, but I probably could have drove there. I think it's about like 35 minutes from my house, which is kind of funny because I ship with Stallion Express, I still had to drive it an hour to London. so they could bring it back all the way 30 minutes from me in the other direction. But that's just kind of how shipping works. You know, it's kind of funny if you ever follow tracking too, you drop something off at Canada Post, even just like right at Canada Post. And if you ever follow the tracking, sometimes the route doesn't make any sense, you know, but it eventually gets there. So this one still got there fast, $70. I paid $14 and change at Onward for this one. So pretty happy with it. These vintage jerseys always do well for me, and I like picking them up because they're a lot of fun. Next up, I sold a pair of Rocky boots. I did accept a best offer of $61. I think I paid about 14 bucks roughly for these. That's sort of a guess based off of, you know, my memory, which has been all over the place recently. So, you know, it could be wrong, but roughly I would expect $14 or less is what I would pay for these. If you're not familiar with this particular brand, Rocky, you would just look at Vibram. That usually means quality. It's just you can see in the bottom here, you'll see it says Vibram. It's not exclusive to this brand. It could be on many things. And if we go back to the first picture, it says Gore-Tex here, which you can see it says Gore-Tex in the title. If you see either Vibram or Gore-Tex, definitely look up the item, because those are two indicators of usually higher quality, higher maybe value shoe or boots. So definitely two things to look out for. But yeah, pretty happy with this. 61 bucks. It is boot season, so if you do have boots or you're out searching for stuff, check out the boot section. And if you see, like I said, Vibram or Gore-Tex, look it up. Leather is obviously really good as well. You know, there's so many different styles of boots out there. But like I said, the brand is important. But what can also be an indicator, even if you don't know the brand, is the word Vibram or Gore-Tex or leather. You can look at those words and you can kind of think, maybe there's some value here. So if you see them when you're out in the wild, definitely look up those keywords or those indicators that you might have a good item. The last one I want to share with you guys is this Cail Boombox. It is an AM/FM cassette. It is a recorder as well, so you could record the radio. I don't know if you could record your own voice on this one or just the radio. I didn't test that function out, but it did play cassettes. It did play the radio, so I was pretty happy with that. It is model number JTR1147. That's what you would type in on eBay if you were going to try to look for sold comps. You put in Cail Boombox, maybe cassette, and then maybe this model here, and you would look to see how many are listed versus how many are sold and see if that one was a good one to buy. This one I thought was an okay one to buy. I thought I was going to buy it and hang on to it for a little bit longer than I did. I think I picked it up a couple months ago and expected to sort of hang on to it or maybe eventually sell it on Etsy, but it did sell in full price for $49.98. I think I paid $10 or less. I remember picking it up at Goodwill in Tillsonburg, Ontario. I just don't remember the exact dollar amount that I spent, but it would have been less than $10 for sure. Probably more closer to the $6 to $8 range, but let's just call it $10 for the sake of this video. Pretty happy with that. And you know, some of these vintage radios do sell faster than others. This isn't the best brand ever, but it's still a brand that I always would look up if I do see it. So I'm going to do a short little life update here. If you're not interested, feel free to click off the video. It wouldn't offend me at all. It's totally fine. So as I said before, me and Amanda on Tuesday opened a spa in Tillsonburg, Ontario. It had already been running as Tranquility. So we had started a new business, purchased the assets, reopened it as Tranquility. So it is a new business, even though it's the same staff. It looks the same on the outside. But to do that takes a lot of time and money and effort to get things all sorted out. And obviously we had to get a loan. Me and Amanda both injected money into the business, so we're shareholders. We had to set up new accounts, all sorts of things. It was just a lot of work, really, but it's been a rewarding thing so far. So Tuesday, she went in, opened up. I went in the end of the day, met with the people that I didn't know there, just said hello. We went out for dinner, and then we came back to ring the till off for the end of the night. So after all that, it was pretty rewarding to see, you know, the first sales receipt or end of day come in for the business. You know, since then, we've done a few of those. It's been nice. You know, we're in a busy time of the year for a salon or spa because Christmas, people buy gifts and people come and want to look nice for the holidays. So it's definitely an inflated time of the year for that business, but I'm pretty happy to see what I've seen so far. And obviously, you know, we took a deep dive and looked at the books before buying it and had our accountant look at it as well. So I'm pretty confident that it was a good business buy. It has been a lot. It's not been a lot of physical work. It's just the mental work. I've been staying awake. I've been falling asleep easy at night because I exhaust myself, but I've been waking up at like 3 or 4 in the morning with my mind racing, thinking about things, just a lot of anxiety. And I think that's probably normal with new business owners. I know I felt that way too when I was getting into eBay and learning everything. It just seemed like overwhelming. So you know, if you're just trying to get into eBay or anything like that, you can kind of take that as a life lesson. Everything gets easier. I expect even owning this business will get easier as time goes on. So yeah, it's been really great, really rewarding. And I just once again wanted to say thank you for anybody who's reached out and, you know, congratulated us. It really does mean a lot to me and to Amanda as well. I promise not on every video I'm going to go on and on about purchasing a spa. You probably won't hear too much more about it until next year. I do plan on doing some things that do involve my business. We have an entire basement to use there, and there's an office upstairs that could be converted. We have some ideas. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but stay tuned next year and some more updates. What we do with the spa, and I will kind of let you know if anything big happens or any big changes happen. But anyway, guys, till next time, take care, stay safe, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.